everyone, my name is Fred and today I'll be sharing my February wrap-up with you. Now, I think February was a pretty decent reading month. I read a grand total of 7 books, which I think is pretty great. And so I started off the month by continuing and completing the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I read the 5th book, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, the 6th book, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and lastly, the 7th book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Now, I gave each of these 3 books a 5 out of 5 stars. No surprises there. This is truly a wonderful series. And I particularly enjoyed in the 6th book learning more about Voldemort through the memories and the pensieve. I thought that those bits were really interesting, as well as in the 7th book. I liked learning more about wands and about their allegiances and how they can sort of change which wizard they want to be faithful to, I guess. I also think it was pretty cool to see creatures change of heart. I thought that bit was adorable. And sure, this book has its fair share of emotions, but I thought it was a great conclusion to the series. I only would have liked to learn a little bit more about the portraits and how they work, especially, the portraits of the headmasters. But all in all, this series was amazing. Like I said, 5 out of 5 stars, no question to it. Then I picked up Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac by Gabrielle Zevin. This follows the story of Naomi, who after falling down a flight of stairs and hitting her head, loses the memories of the past 4 years. And so I thought this book was quite enjoyable. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was interesting to see how Naomi changed. I mean, after her accident, she found herself having different interests and acting differently to, the person she was before her accident, the person she couldn't remember. I did find her character slightly annoying at parts though, and I also didn't quite believe the relationship with James. I personally would have preferred to read more about her relationship with her best friend Will. I just thought that in general, Will seemed like a much more interesting character. And so yes, this book was interesting, it was enjoyable, but not my favorite from Gabrielle Zevin. Then I picked up Stolen by Lucy Christopher. This follows the story of Gemma, who gets abducted from an airport and then is forced to live with her captor in Australia. I thought that the style of writing of this book was quite unique. It's written from Gemma's point of view as a letter to her captor, Ty. I also felt like her reactions were quite realistic. I mean, she tries to escape multiple times even though she knows that her chances of survival in the wild are 0. I also like how conflicted she is about her feelings. This book is often described as being about Stockholm Syndrome, but I think it's so much more. I mean, we really get to see how Gemma struggles. On one hand, she knows that what Ty did to her was horrible and completely wrong, but she also knows that he's not a bad person, but still she can't let him get away with what he's done to her. And so I thought this book just felt really realistic. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, simply because it's different from anything else that I'd ever read before. So yeah. Then I read I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy. This book follows the story of twins Noah and Jude. It's told in alternating perspectives. Noah tells the story when the twins are 13, and then things skip ahead 3 years with Jude to when they're 16. So at 13, the twins get along really well, they have their little twin bond, but then something happens because at 16 they become completely different people and they barely acknowledge each other. I personally really enjoyed how this story was told, and I like how the reader slowly comes to understand what's happened and pieces together facts from both accounts of the twins. I also liked how my thoughts and my opinions on the characters kept changing based on the different perspectives and when the story would progress. And mostly, this story just surprised me on so many accounts, but that's all I'll say for now because I do plan on filming a full video review for this book. So for now, I'll just say that I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really enjoyable. And lastly, I picked up The DUFF by Kody Keplinger, the designated ugly fat friend. This story follows Bianca, who's dealing with quite a few issues. Her parents are getting a divorce and she'll do anything for distraction, including sleeping with the womanizing school heartthrob Wesley. But Bianca eventually learns that she can't keep running away from her problems forever, and she also starts to develop actual feelings for Wesley. Now, I have to say this book was a very quick read. Bianca did sort of disappoint me though. I was expecting a little more from her character. I definitely enjoyed the second half of the novel much more when Bianca was finally communicating with people that she was close with, and when, you know, she finally accepted that the term DUFF didn't make her undesirable in any way, and that everybody feels like a DUFF in their own right. And so I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I definitely still want to see the movie because it seems like they're taking it in a different direction. So that was all for my February wrap-up. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of the books I've mentioned and what your thoughts were, or let me know about one of your favorite books that you read over the month of February. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you with another video soon. Bye!